You mock me.
3 wishes, perfectly simple and theoretically safe.
I was imprisoned by Solomon precisely because I cried out my heart's desire. Only by granting you yours may I earn my release.
Yes, well, I appreciate the symmetry, but the thing is this. I cannot for the life of me summon up 1 eligible wish. And you're asking me for 3.
Is there any life in you? Are you even alive?
This is a story of a woman who's very rational. And she encounters a jinn or a genie who gives her 3 wishes in exchange for his freedom. The problem is that she's someone perfectly content with life. And secondly, she's a narratologist, someone who studies stories and knows that all stories about wishing are cautionary tales. So he has to persuade her by telling his own stories about being trapped in a bottle for over 3,000 years.
These stories are more than just stories. They're a way of convincing, if you like, or encouraging Alethea to understand the plight that he finds himself in and how important it is that, hey, you've got 3 wishes, you don't want them, but I'm going to tell you these stories so to give you a little perspective. So that is a big key moment for me and key to understand how to, to approach it. It was key to understand as a performer, why storytelling is so important to the jinn, why these particular stories are really important to Alethea's journey.
The shape of the film, the sort of trajectory, the arrow's journey of the film is to a certain extent about evolution, about human evolution, social evolution, I would say. And in particular in relation to the circumstances of women's life, yes, I think that's very accurate, and it's not a high note in the film, but it's there, and it's there to be picked up on. And it is true that Alethea is the latest, she's not the last, she's the latest in the chain of all these women whose stories are about fulfillment, because the film is about desire. What are your 3 wishes? What do you desire? I think her evolution in the course of the film is that she readdresses that and she evolves. She transforms, in fact. She's on this precipice of being, the jinn brings her to the end of that particular line of living this sort of self-sufficient, unemotional, detached life. And he opens up the possibility of her changing and living an emotional life, taking a risk.
It's the stories we tell each other that shape all of this. At some point, someone said, hey, wouldn't it be great to build a skyscraper? That's a story. It's not a reality. It's like, what? A building that goes up to the sky and we can all be up there? That's like flying. Yeah, it'd be like flying, but it would save space. Instead of going that way, we go up. It's a story. It's an idea told as a story. And it's that has built what we are today, right?
When we go to the cinema, it's a kind of public dreaming. And stories, and particularly allegorical stories like this, are a kind of dream. You're invited into the dream, and hopefully you're caught up into it. So just on that level, it's something to share with strangers on the big screen. And we worked so hard on trying to tell a story that keeps you leaning forward in your seat.